doesn't lie, but you wanna unless you give it a try, give it a try. But you wanna unless you give it a try. Hey, girl, if I tell you I need you, that doesn't mean that I don't care.
What a...
And if I tell
Oh
you
God, it's still
I
going.
feel,
Okay. Yeah.
don't you think that I will never be there here? Cupid.
Is that a real song? Is that a Drake song?
One of my favorite songs of all time.
Your songs?
Nope.
Who sings them?
112.
Let's let them sing it.
Hello there, villagers. Welcome back to another video here in Stacy's Random POV. And in today's video, we are going to be discussing the suspect brought in by the FBI that took down Charlie Kirk a couple of days ago. And this gentleman's name is Tyler Robinson. And before I get into everything that I found out, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that like button so that it can help us to get more people that are tapped into this situation, and for you guys to help me kind of understand exactly what group this young man belonged to. So before I get into it, let me just say that everything I'm about to say in this video is exclusively, definitively, positively my opinion. In my opinion alone, it is not to incite any group, either left or right, Republican or Democrat. This is just something to inform the people of my generation of exactly what is going on this internet streets. Okay? Awesome. So again, I am going to play to you guys what is being said by ABC News worldwide. So check this out, and I'll be right back with the rest of my commentary.
Authorities now, of course, looking into Tyler Robinson's background, his social media posts, his experience with guns. He was from a family of hunters. And police tonight saying a family member describing Tyler Robinson's alleged recent frustration with politics and hate. He's now expected to face those state charges. And here's Pierre Thomas.
Tonight, a portrait emerging of Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old Utah man who authorities say assassinated Charlie Kirk. Social media tells part of his story. His family included hunters, people very familiar and comfortable with guns. He comes from a middle-class Mormon family. Robinson's mother is a social worker. His father recently ran a kitchen countertop business. Though he did not have military experience, sources tell ABC News they believe Robinson was proficient with firearms and had enough skill to make a long-distance shot from an elevated perch. And today the governor alleged that the suspect wanted to literally use bullets to send messages. Here's what the governor said was on the shell casings recovered from that single-bolt action rifle believed to have been used in the attack.
Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist!" "Catch!"
Another shell casing referencing an Italian anti-fascist folk song. The engravings appear to point to a man consumed by internet culture. Robinson also used the encrypted messaging app Discord to communicate, a popular messaging tool used by young people that has been repeatedly tied to young men engaged in horrific acts of violence. Discord releasing a statement today acknowledging Robinson did have an account with their platform, since deleted, but say they found no evidence the suspect planned this incident or promoted violence on their platform. Christian Schwierman was the custodian at Robinson's grade school and has known the Robinson family for over 16 years, describing the suspect as smart.
He's part of our neighborhood, you know. I saw him grow up, yet I would have never thought that.
Keaton Brixby has known Robinson since middle school.
I knew his family had firearms. I knew he shot all the time. There was pictures all over his family's Facebook of him with firearms. Everyone in St. George has them. It's a very conservative town.
David, as you heard, authorities say Tyler Robinson, described by family and friends as smart, came home more concerned about politics, that he told a family member Charlie Kirk was coming to campus. That family member describing Kirk as full of hate. David?
Pierre Thomas on the unfolding investigation tonight. Pierre, our thanks to you as well.
So that is basically what all the news networks are saying about this man, that he comes from a conservative family and that everyone had guns and that he was part of this group. So what group are they talking about? Well, here is a lady who has something to say about such a group. Check this out, and again, I'll be right back.
I hope this video doesn't get taken down because it's really important and it's about the Tyler Robinson situation.
Now, yesterday, I did some videos about the possibility of him being a Groyper, which is someone that is a white nationalist that follows Nick Fuentes and is very much into the gaming community, meme culture. That's where those sayings on the casings came from. And while it may make him look like he's on the left by some of the things that he said, those are actually from the far right. Excuse me. So we've got a problem. While we have pictures of him dressed up as a Groyper. However, in the comments, I'm getting MAGA, and they're saying he's a leftist, he's a leftist. And so I guess some friends said that he had leftist ideologies. That's been retracted by Wall Street Journal. No, The Guardian. And then just like, they said there was the trans stuff on the casings, that was retracted by Wall Street Journal. Like, they're very happy to just throw this stuff out there quickly. Then I saw someone say, oh, he had on a Democrat Socialist Utah Salt Lake shirt, and that was debunked. I also think that Trump shirt that he was in was fake too. And I need you to be very clear. I just want the truth. I don't care what it is. And to be honest, I would prefer the person who's on the left. It would make sense. I would understand it. I could explain it. But that's why I figured out the Groyper stuff, because this didn't make sense. He's a young white man in Utah in a conservative family who did 1 semester at college. I don't know a lot of white 22-year-old leftists that come from conservative families. It takes time. And to go from Groyper to that, I do not see that anywhere. And if he was a leftist, generally you'd know, because leftists got mouths. I talk politics to everyone. Okay, so, I was able to debunk those things and get more proof that he was a Groyper. However, here's where what I'm saying is really, really fucking important. The governor just came out and said that he was indoctrinated with deeply leftist ideology. And that just doesn't make sense. Not what the shirt was wearing. And I would count for, like, he could be trying to fake something out, make it look one way other than it is. I fully understand all of that. And again, I'm open to being completely wrong on this. But here's where my expertise gets us in the weeds. The governor is Mormon, and I grew up in the Mormon cult. I posted a video yesterday about that kid being Mormon, and it was taken down, it was mass reported for harassment and bullying by Mormons. Mormons will protect their image in a way where most companies would never. And I know this firsthand because years ago I had 3 men that were they had a bookkeeping company, and they were not paying the payroll taxes to the government. They were buying boats, jet skis, houses, all this stuff. And I got a call from the IRS that said, you owe us $100,000. If you don't pay it right now, we're putting liens on your houses, your husband's dental offices, my business. I had a big company at the time. And we were like, what? And they'd been watching this happen for 9 months and didn't say anything. In that time, I learned that, the Mormon cops work for the Mormon church. The Mormon judges work for them. They know that there's houses they can't even go to if a woman calls and says she's been hurt, like attacked by a man, they can't go. If there's talk of rape, can't go. If it's one of the popular athletes that's Mormon, can't go for any reason. So it's a very corrupt church, and I've dealt with them on SA stuff. Nope, it's all cover up. And that's coming more to light. But this church has more money than God, and they will protect their image. They will protect their image. And why I say that is because, again, if this kid is a leftist, I have no problem saying that. I just want the truth. I always want the truth. I'm that person that's like, oh, well, that's just what it is. I don't really care, because you can't have a functioning society if you don't just own the truth. So if he's on the left, great, I don't care. But the fact that everything's being debunked and now all of a sudden this governor comes forward, because that's a cult. And MAGA is the most dangerous cult in the world, but the Mormon church is the second most dangerous. And that family and that governor and everyone attached to this will 100% lie about his ideologies. Now, if he's on the left, great. I don't know how you go from Groyper to hardcore leftist that wants to take out Charlie Kirk. Okay. And I'm not saying he did it for Nick Fuentes. I don't think Nick Fuentes had anything to do with this. Nick Fuentes is very upset. He's screaming, don't hurt people. But I don't know how you make that leap in 1 semester of college in Utah, where you're still in an echo chamber of white guys and in a family of MAGA. So you're going to just end up getting, official language like that from them, because they have to protect their brand. This is the biggest hit that they have taken in decades. I've been waiting for this to happen because they're hardcore in there. And even in one of their scriptures, it says, it may come to the point where they have to defend the democracy, even at losing their lives. So you should be aware that you've got two cults running, and one of them will do anything to protect their name. And I'm not saying that to scare you, but what I am asking is that we're not going to be able to shut down them promoting all of that. But if we want it to go away, we have to stop talking about it. Unless something else comes out that we can shut it down with, we need to let it run its course. And every time we fight back with them, it's going to bring it back up in the news cycle. We need the news cycle to move on. I need you to share this video. This needs to go far more viral than the other things. Do I think that I'm right about this stuff? Yeah. Am I open to being wrong? Yeah. But I want to keep people safe, and I want to keep the Mormon church in the headlines, because they are going to do anything that they have to do to protect their name. And they are never, ever going to let this kid look like a right-wing extremist. They're going to try and make him look like a crazy left loon. I hope he is, because that means one more kid woke up, and I can understand his reasons for doing things. But the fact that that governor came out and said that today, knowing what I know with the church, I have dealt with the leadership. I've dealt with high-ranking Republican political leaders who we've gotten real honest with each other about the church and what it is. And so we need to not talk about it, because we need it to move through the news cycle.
Okay, guys, so that is what the lady had to say about this situation. If you know her, please tag her. I will also add her on the description after I upload this video. And so after I hear her say that, I went ahead and I'm going to play to you guys the interview of the governor of Utah, Governor Cox. And I want you guys to really pay attention and let me know in the comments, what do you see? Do you see what I see? Or am I just a little cuckoo? But after I heard her video, it kind of lit a different perspective for me when I look at this whole situation with Tyler Robinson altogether. So check this out and I'll be right back.
You told the Wall Street Journal that it is, quote, very clear to us and to the investigators that this was a person who was deeply indoctrinated with leftist ideology. Can you elaborate on that and be more specific?
Well, sure. So that information comes from the people around him, from his family members and friends. That's how we got that information. Again, there's so much more that we're learning, and so much more that we will learn. There will be official charges will be filed on Tuesday, and there will be much more evidence and information available then. And again, we're interviewing all kinds of people, everyone that knows him, and trying to learn more about what that motive actually was.
Well, some outlets are reporting that the suspect lived with a transgender partner. Is that accurate? And are investigators looking at this part of his life as a possible motivation?
Yes, definitely. And yes, I can confirm that. I know that has been reported, and that the FBI has confirmed that as well, that the roommate was a romantic partner, a male transitioning to female. I can say that that he has been very cooperative. This partner has been incredibly cooperative, had no idea that this was happening, and is working with investigators right now.
And how is that relevant to the investigation when it comes to the motive? Are you learning that?
Sure. Well, yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out right now. Again, it's easy to draw conclusions from that, and so we've got the shell casings, other forensic evidence that is coming in, and trying to piece all of those things together.
You said that the roommate is being very helpful. Has that individual explained to law enforcement what the mindset of the shooter was, and whether or not it is connected to his ideology or his situation as transitioning, as you just described?
I'm not sure about that piece right now, Dana.
Okay, so we're not sure if the fact that he was romantically involved, as you say, with his partner who was transitioning is relevant to the motive of the murder, based on the investigation.
Well. Sure. Again, all of these things we're trying to figure it out. I know everybody wants to know exactly why and point the finger, and I totally get that. I do too. And so I just want to be careful, as I haven't read all of the interview transcripts, and so we'll have to wait and see what comes out.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. We should all be careful. I guess just because that's out there are a lot of people drawing conclusions, and so I'm just trying to get as many facts as we can glean from you, since you have been involved in the investigation. And on that, the social and gaming platform Discord released a statement saying its servers were in no way involved in Tyler Robinson's alleged plot to assassinate Charlie Kirk. But it did say there were, quote, communications between the suspect's roommate and a friend after the shooting, where the roommate was recounting the contents of a note the suspect had left elsewhere. Can you tell us about that note that the shooter left?
So I can't yet. Again, those are things that are still being processed for accuracy and verification, and will be included in charging documents.
Okay, so but the note was found, or the note was the contents of the note is known by law enforcement?
Again, I can't share any specifics. They're looking at everything right now.
Understood. I just want to go back to my first question about what you told the Wall Street Journal about that this is a person indoctrinated with leftist ideology. And the reason why I think it would be great to be more specific is because your goal of trying to lower the temperature, you said that this is based on investigation and interviews with people who knew him. Did they just use the term leftist ideology, or did they give specifics?
Yeah, there are conversations that were discussed specifically about Charlie Kirk, other conversations about the direction that this was going. And look, my job is just to tell people I really don't have a dog in this fight. If this was MAGA and a radicalized MAGA person, I would be saying that as well. If the friends were saying that, I would be sharing that as well. That's not what they're sharing. And so I do think it is important, again, to understand how someone gets radicalized like this. And in this case, it happened. As much as people wish it wasn't or don't want it to be this, these are the facts that are being presented to us. If there are additional facts that would point otherwise, but family discussions, parents, this is what they're saying, and these things happen. Yeah. And so it's okay to have these discussions.
Listen, absolutely, and I'm just trying to get more facts, more details of the facts that you're putting out.
All right, guys. So as you can see, there is a lot of discussion going on in regarding the curious case of Tyler Robinson. Was he an extreme leftist? And even if he was, I have not met or ever heard of an extreme leftist that will grab a gun and go ahead and shoot up the place or shoot at anybody at that. If you guys know someone that's from the left, which is Democrat and extremely liberal, please let me know in the comments down below. Prove me wrong, I'm okay with that. If you've gotten this far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like button, please. It helps us get a little bit more recognized and people will be able to see this video. Now, on the other side is this whole Groyper situation. What is a Groyper? So I got you guys more information regarding a Groyper. In my opinion, I believe a Groyper is a group of white, conservative, far-right young men who are generally younger millennials and Gen Z, and I believe that someone also mentioned that there are some Gen Alphas in there, which is crazy to me because last I checked Gen Alpha, they the oldest ones are about to be 11 this year, and I believe they are a group of men and boys who are in the gamer community. A lot of people are saying that it was Nick Fuentes who started this, and we already know how problematic Nick Fuentes is. And if you are not familiar with Nick Fuentes, which I'm pretty sure some of you might know, here are some of the videos of Nick Fuentes' very much dangerous ideologies.
You know, your wife is not your big sister. She's your fucking wife. She's your dominion, okay? You own her. And she is subject to you. She is your subject. She is your helper. You can call her, okay, if you're having sex with you, you can call her whatever you want, okay? On your anniversary, you could call her your queen, whatever the fuck. But she's your wife, and she is your dependent, just like your children. And women should be treated like children, basically. Not like your buddy, not like your best companion. Your best friend should be another guy. Your wife is your wife. And if you really enjoy the company of your wife that much, I have bad news for you. You're gay. Because that's who really loves the company of women. I've said it so many times, and it's so true.
Okay, and then here's another video.
Remember this guy?
Hey, bitch, we control your bodies. Your body, our choice.
He went viral, and now his house has been doxxed online. I'll explain. Nick Fuentes is a well-known figure in far-right circles, infamous for his provocative statements and extremist views. He recently went viral for a video of him celebrating Trump's victory.
There will never be a female president, ever! It's over. Glass ceiling? Dude, it's a ceiling made of fucking bricks. You will never break it. Your stupid face keeps hitting the brick ceiling. We will keep you down forever.
Recent video posted on Rumble, Fuentes defended his "Your Body, My Choice" comment that caused all this controversy, claiming it was intended as a critique of the pro-choice movement and modern feminism. He went on to say that his comment was a fun little play on the "my body, my choice" expression, and called it such obvious rage baiting. Fuentes also added, there is a very serious point underlying it, which is that women actually deserve to be mocked for this. Not all women, obviously, not women who are mothers, not women who are married, not women who are Trump supporters and the like, but we are talking about a very pernicious faction of women. They may be the majority, and they are radical, shrieking, shrill, whining bitches, and they are ruining this country.
Okay, so that's all I need to hear, and I hope that's all you guys, that's all I can muster from Nick Fuentes, okay? And I find it appalling how men with mothers, with sisters, with grandmothers, to be specific, can follow this man and consider him to be a leader. So much so, he got so much traction on the online world that he created his own far-right conservative group and called themselves Groypers. Out of all other names, they call themselves Groypers. Who are completely dangerous, not just to other women, but also to underage girls. But don't take my word for it. I got you guys. I brought over a couple of more videos from other creators explaining what a Groyper is and what exactly is this movement. Again, I am making this video to educate the people from my generation who are not chronically online, because I know that there are a lot of 30-year-olds and late 20-year-olds who are so knee-deep in their work and in their careers that this might pass them by, and unbeknownst to them, their children are being exposed to this on the phones and on the internet that you guys paid for with your hard-earned money. We do not have time to let any of this stuff slip right through the cracks and grow like an infectious disease while you are too busy focusing on your career and on your time, thinking that you're doing the right thing, and your child might end up like another Tyler. And let's not even forget the whole religious aspect of it. The fact that 65% of FBI and CIA agents are Mormons is very dangerous to me. And 35% of the judges worldwide are Mormons. And let's not forget the firefighters that are Mormons and the police officers that are Mormons. And that's not just in one specific state, that's in every single state. Be careful, please. Be vigilant. Pay attention to your children. Talk to your children so they are not feeling abandoned, so much so that they have to look online for someone to follow because they feel like you're not giving them enough time, enough attention. Okay, so check these videos out. And please don't forget to hit that like button because it really helps us get in the algorithm. I come out with a lot of shorts and at least 2 big long videos every single week. And I can't wait to see what you guys are gonna come out of with this topic and with the information I brought together for you guys. And I'll see you on my next video. Love yourself so nobody else have to. And subscribe. Once you subscribe, you automatically become a member of this village. You love this village. You appreciate this village because, baby, it takes a village. I'll see you guys soon.
A lot of people are asking me what the fuck a soy jack is, so I'm gonna go ahead and explain in this video what a soy jack is and what a Groyper is and the differences and similarities between the two memes. First of all, in order to understand the soy jack, you must also understand the Wojak. The Wojak is the original meme, and I'm 100% sure, like 90% of the people who are watching this video have seen the Wojak meme. It's also known as the Feels Bad Man. It was like really popular in 2015, 2016. Now that I'm saying that, some of the people watching this video might not be old enough to have seen this at its hype, so basically, the original meme is just like something bad happens and then it feels bad, so it's just like Feels Bad Man. And people also use the Wojak meme to just kind of announce to the internet when something bad was happening to them at that time. It'd just be like, last night my dog died and I found out my girlfriend was cheating on me, Feels Bad Man. Here's where I'm going to cut in the beginning of the Groyper meme, which is the Feels Good Man, Pepe the Frog. The Feels Good Man meme, Pepe the Frog, quickly turned into an alt-right symbol where people would just like post on 4chan about like racism. Okay, so it originally was not a racist meme. It was like a pretty fucking chill meme, and then it became racist like really quick. In fact, I remember when the Anti-Defamation League, or one of those anti-discrimination societies, posted about Pepe the Frog being a hate symbol, and people freaked out about it because half of the people were on the side of the internet where Pepe the Frog was still a good meme, and half of people were on the side of the internet where it was blatantly racist. And nowadays, the good side does not exist. There was a brief resurgence in the good side when the creator of the Pepe the Frog character came out and said he didn't like the fact that it was being used in a racist way, and people started using it in a good way again, but then now we have the Groypers. Now let's get back to the soy jack. The soy jack evolved from the Wojak to kind of represent a liberal man. And for a little bit of context, you know how every other week it seems like the looks maxers and like the fucking supplement selling right-wingers are always like, you don't want to eat seed oils, you want to eat this. You don't want to eat vegetables, you want to go on a carnivore diet type thing. Well, that has been going on for a long time, and one of the original iterations of that was soy has phytoestrogens, and phytoestrogens can be converted to regular estrogens in your body and make you into a woman. So then you get the soy jack, which is basically a representation of a liberal vegan man who doesn't drink regular milk and therefore doesn't get all of the big cow titty testosterone that exists in cow milk and instead gets all the phytoestrogens, so he's basically a woman now. And originally the soy jack meme was like, oh, this is what liberal guys think, and it's stupid, right? And in political compass memes and the politics subreddits, that you would have like the soy jack versus the Giga Chad, which is supposed to be like the right-wing guy who's like arguing with the liberal. The internet was flooded with memes of, your point is stupid because I drew you as the fucking soy jack and I drew myself as the Chad, so fuck you. But then people were like, actually, that's kind of cringe. It's kind of cringe to bolster your political points, or even just innocuous opinions by drawing yourself as the Chad and somebody else as the soy jack. So then it became kind of a self-deprecating thing, especially in the incel community, where it would be like, be me, 32 years old, still a virgin, no idea why I can't get a girlfriend type shit. Now, I wasn't there for the creation of the Groyper meme specifically. It was around the time where I got off the internet and started doing things in real life. But basically, the Pepe the Frog meme just kind of gradually evolved, and I was there for some of it, not the Groyper part though, specifically. People kept drawing Pepe the Frog as like different caricatures, eventually ending up on the Groyper meme, which was like blatantly anti-Semitic and racist. It was literally created from that premise, way after the Pepe the Frog thing. People would post the Groyper meme with like, you know, text that says some sort of like dog whistle or like anti-Jewish conspiracy theory, and the Groyper would just be like, you know, it's kind of like that person screaming at the monkey and the monkey being like this meme that you see on TikTok a lot. Monkey smart because not emotional. Monkey smart because chill, bro. And around that time where the Groyper meme started taking off, the soy jack meme also dead. You know, nobody posts the soy jack meme anymore, so it migrated over to like these more niche communities that are still posting fucking terrible fucking memes, like just deep fried to shit with their anime waifu, and it's like the final form of rot brain. So when people underneath that video say things like, the Groyper meme and the soy jack meme aren't the same thing actually. It's like saying a YouTube short and a TikTok aren't the same thing. Okay, they're used in like the same fucking way nowadays. And they're used by the same fucking people. Like the Groypers do not only post Groyper memes, they also post the fucking soy jacks. And they don't even call them soy jacks. They have different representations for every type of person in the world, usually the type of people that they don't like, and like a generic white guy. They have the generic white guy soy jack, and then they have like slur jack. Like they have N-word jack, they have T-slur jack, and it's like the most terrible, horrible depictions of a group of people you've probably ever seen on the fucking internet. It's like worse than old school propaganda shit. Literal pictures of people getting strung up. And that's why I don't feel any sympathy for this guy. Put him in the chair. I just wanted to say all of that was from memory. Okay?
Let me put all this Groyper stuff in an analogy that older generations can understand. Listen, I'm not going to pretend that I knew what a Groyper was before all of this. I thought Nick Fuentes and Charlie Kirk were very much more aligned than I'm discovering that they were. However, I'm not surprised. Here's my analogy. So we all learned that the Puritans came to the New World, to North America, because of why? religious persecution. Who were the Puritans? The Puritans were Christians. But what did they believe? They believed that the Church of England was too close to Catholicism, right? So England used to be a Catholic country, but then some people wanted to break away from Catholicism. So they formed the Church of England. But then some people thought the Church of England was still too close to Catholicism and needed to go further. They wanted to purify the Church of England, so they became the Puritans. So, but they're all Christians, right? Catholics are Christian, Church of England is Christian, Puritans are Christian. Why are they beefing? They're all Christians. Guess what? There is beef within the Christian faith. Different denominations believe different things, and it led to major conflict, if you remember, if you know your European history, right? Millions of people have been killed because of slight variations in Christianity. So it's like that. Yes, Charlie Kirk is right-wing. Nick Fuentes is right-wing. But they believe slightly different things. And so there starts to become division within these right-wing factions, and they splinter off and evolve and form new groups. So the Groypers were slightly different than the Turning Point USA kids, the Charlie Kirkers. So what you're seeing now is an amalgam of the brain rot, chronically online, Gen Z, Gen Alpha generation, the gamer kids, combined with this deep alt-right indoctrination. And I'm afraid this is probably just the beginning. I'm sorry if this is your introduction to this subculture in America, but it's pretty prevalent and it's pretty fucking scary.
The person who allegedly took out Charlie Kirk had a transgender roommate, and a lot of people are confused by this. They're thinking that automatically means that person was on the far left, and that's not the case. That was once the case a few years back, but that is no longer the case because a lot of people in the LGBT community identify as far right. And I'm going to demonstrate that in this video. I want you to share it with older folks who may not understand the current internet lingo and what a Groyper is. So first off, you got to understand that Charlie Kirk had an open debate with this guy named Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is a white nationalist, and some people would say a Yahtzee. But this guy had an open beef with Charlie Kirk because he didn't feel like Charlie Kirk was conservative enough. And Nick Fuentes' faction is known as Groypers. The Groypers are this group of loosely connected far-right people. Some of them Yahtzees, some of them white nationalists, some of them are just weirdos. A lot of them are incels because Nick Fuentes himself said that he'd never been with a woman. And he's at an age right now where that's kind of weird. Gotta be honest with you. But he said that, so you can see why far-right incels would find him appealing. Charlie Kirk is a family man, so they didn't want to follow him. They didn't want to go for all that. Again, the Groypers have more of a militaristic mindset, and they're willing to accept anybody. So let me give you my personal experience, and this is going to sound weird for some of the older folks, but I want to break this down for older folks to get it. Let me explain to you what you have been seeing or may not have been seeing that may have giving you a little bit of a illumination into what the far right has morphed into so that you quit being confused. First things first, just because you're LGBT doesn't mean that you're not far right. Just because you're black or Hispanic don't mean that you're far right. Like, for example, if you're Hispanic, you have Enrique Tarrio, you have Stephen Rose, who used to be the leader of the Oath Keepers. His mother is freaking Hispanic. A lot of the deputy gangs in California, Hispanic. There's a term in Spanish called Mejorar la Raza, which means to improve the race or lighten the race. It's a white supremacist code within Spanish. If you look at some people like Candace Owens or different people who come from different parts of the African diaspora, some of them have some hardcore Stockholm syndrome. And when you look at the LGBT community, you have people like Blair White, transgender, but far right as they come. You got a bunch of gay people who are far right, like, for example, especially Republicans. Look at all the Catholic priests and scout leaders who typically identify as Republican, but they mess with little boys. They ain't straight. But see, a lot of people who are older just haven't really pieced that together yet. There are a lot of people who criticize the LGBT the most are the gayest mofos out there. So, with that being said, let me give you some of my personal experience to kind of illuminate you. First things first, I ran into a guy when I first started my activism journey. I joined a Discord server. It was ran by this Arab white nationalist. He's an Arab. His father was from Egypt, which means Egypt is in the African continent, which makes him an African white nationalist. His name was Kevin. He lived in Chicago, but his online moniker was Braving Ruin or Edgy Spinks. And this dude flat out said on Reddit and told me personally he's a fascist. And that blew my mind. I've never met an African white nationalist who's a fascist. It was bizarre, but it happened. I mean, it is kind of known about edgy. If you go into certain circles like the atheist community on YouTube, or you go into some of the leftist communities, edgy is a known name. People use Chappelle's show skits because it's so ridiculous. But when you look at the LGBT community, one of the first hardcore racists that I ran into was a guy named Andrew. He ran this channel called Naked Ape. And so it was a play on this book called The Naked Ape. He's a white guy. He had a black boyfriend though, and he's arguing race and IQ, which means he's thinking that black people are less intelligent. I'm talking to him. I'm like, why would you have a less intelligent boyfriend? He didn't really explain it. I mean, I've interacted with some of these people because it's fascinating. Like when you hear a white racist man who's got a black boyfriend, I mean, even when you look at somebody like Milo Yiannopoulos, he's had black boyfriends, but he's racist. And a lot of people who are older, especially a lot of older Republicans, don't seem to realize the far right has shifted. They've shifted a long time ago. The far right, in terms of what they look like, yeah, most of them look like straight white men, a lot of times, sometimes women. But anyone can take up the mantle of white supremacy now. And that's the most insidious part about white supremacy. So with that being said, we look at the Groypers. A lot of these guys are incels, and a lot of incels, they don't tell you this, they're very gay. Some of them are trans. When I first joined Edgy Sphinx's server, I noticed there's a bunch of femboys. Femboys. So a femboy is a feminine boy. That's what they call them. You know, twinks. I noticed a lot of that. A lot of that. It was crazy. I mean, when I joined that server, I got hit on by like 4 dudes. And it's like, wait a minute. You're on the far right. I mean, some of these guys had Nazi symbols on their profiles. And they were hitting on me. I'm like, wait, what is this? But then that's when I remember what so many black activists like Dr. Francis Cress Welsing and Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Randy Short, and so many of them have said repeatedly is that for some white people, for some white nationalists, it is almost a weird gratification thing, whereas they will mess with a black person, but they still have messed up racist views. Another prime example of that for some of the older people who may have a hard time getting that. Look at Strom Thurmond. Strom Thurmond was one of the longest serving U.S. politicians in American history. I think he still is. This guy was a congressman, a senator, and a governor of South Carolina. This dude was so racist that back in the 50s, we could have had a Civil Rights Act, but he filibustered it. Filibustered. He stopped the Civil Rights Act in the 50s. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. I sure met his black daughter in Kroger, and in some places you may call it Safeway. But I met her. But I met his black light-skinned daughter in a freaking grocery store. As a child, I was 12 years old. My mother walked up to that woman and started asking her about Strom Thurmond. She's like, I don't know why he's racist. Strom Thurmond was racist, but if you're from South Carolina, you know he loved black women though. He hated black people, but he liked certain parts of black women, if you know what I mean. He didn't care for the white women. I mean, he messed with white women too, but he really loved the sisters for some reason, but he hated black people. See, and that shows you the right was shifting right then, and none of you paid attention. So when you hear this person, the person who shot Charlie Kirk was a transgender, that don't mean shit. Blair White is transgender. Blair White is a transgender content creator on YouTube and on other platforms, and this chick, this transgender person is clearly far right. Look at Milo Yiannopoulos. I mean, there's so many different LGBT far right people, and nobody wants to pay attention to that. Some of the people who criticize the LGBT community the most, a lot of them are doing it because they are gay. Look at all these pastors that we keep catching with gay prostitutes. Look at that. How many cases have you heard of this? How many cases have you heard of pastors like T.D. Jakes and so many others who are gay? It's normal now. So a lot of you are looking to blame the far left for something that can be easily pinned on the far right, and you're doing it based on identity. And that's where the far right loves it. They love it for you to be confused, thinking that they won't accept anybody. Again, the far right hates black people, but they have Candace Owens. The far right hates transgender people, but they have Blair White. The far right hates Hispanic people, but they have Enrique Tarrio. Political identifications have shifted, and some of you are so old or so out of the loop that you haven't even noticed. But the final message in this video is, welcome to the new reality. You being trans, you being part of the LGBT community, you being black, Hispanic, Asian, doesn't matter. Michelle Malkin, another far right person, it doesn't matter. Identity be damned. The far right is everywhere now. Realize that.